Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking kind of a forensic look at clinical trials. Specifically, the core documentation. It's not just admin, is it? It's really the historical proof. Our sources call it the documentation that proves integrity. So our mission today is to unpack how these records work, not just as paperwork, but, as a way to trace the whole story of a medical investigation.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. Essential records, often, bundled into the trial master file or TMF. Their main job is really to show scientific rigor, definitely compliance with standards like GCP, good clinical practice like, and maybe most importantly, to let regulators piece together the entire trial process, sometimes years later. I think the easiest way to tackle this is probably looking at the three main phases: before, during, and after a trial.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let's start with the before trial documents. This stuff feels like the trial's legal foundation, almost, setting up the rules. It's really about demonstrating authorization and, rigor from the start. So we're talking about the protocol itself, obviously. Approvals from the Institutional Review Board, the IRB, or Ethics Committee, IEC, those are non-negotiables. Plus things like initial regulatory submissions and even like investigator CVs, right? To show the team is qualified.
Exactly. And what's interesting is how the focus shifts once the trial actually gets going. The records you generate during trial, they're all about ongoing compliance and keeping the data sound, like in real time. So now you're looking at case report forms, CRFs, where the raw data gets captured, plus site logs, monitoring records showing oversight happened, and really critically, reports on adverse events, especially serious adverse events, or SAEs. These are the breadcrumbs, the proof of the day-to-day work.
Okay, so we've moved from getting permission and planning to actually doing the work and recording it. But, the challenge doesn't just stop when the last patient is done, does it? The admin burden afterwards seems huge.
Oh, absolutely. Because the after-trial requirements, they are specifically designed for that reconstruction I mentioned. For regulators maybe looking back, this is where the long-term logistics really bite. You've got closeout reports, final data sets, and then the really heavy lift, archival records and these retention certificates. These certificates basically promise you're keeping everything physically or digitally for however long is required. Could be decades. And failing there, that's a major compliance risk, which is why organizing all this is so vital.
Right, organization.
Yeah.
And control over these documents. It's like an integrity shield.
Yeah.
Keeping them accurate and findable is key. Our sources pointed to three main ways to control them. First, version numbers and sign-offs, making sure every single document version is track date, author, who approved it.
Yeah, and that tracking flows right into the second method, secure storage, which means having a defined place, restricted access, whether it's a locked room or secure server, and a clear retention timeline. But, this does raise a point. Implementing these especially robust digital systems for the third requirement, controlled access and retrieval, Brooke, that costs time and money, significant resources. Is all that effort, truly justified?
Well, the sources argue it absolutely is.
Right.
Because that investment, that's what stands between the trial team and potentially a disastrous regulatory finding. It's all about inspection readiness, being prepared for scrutiny from the FDA, EMA, whoever.
Yeah.
You have to be able to pull up any document quickly.
Right.
Which means you need an organized index or master list, a catalog, basically.
Exactly. And that's where modern systems with audit trails are, frankly, indispensable now. These digital laws track everything. Who looked at what, when they looked, why, any changes made. Total transparency. It's the ultimate proof. And something else the sources stress, doing regular self-audits, find your own gaps before the regulators do. It's just smart practice.
Okay, so if you're running a trial, you're juggling CVs, protocols, CRFs, monitoring reports, retention certificates, all this stuff. What's the single, core idea that ties all this documentation together? What's the big takeaway concept?
If you boil it all down, the fundamental reason these essential records exist, why they matter so much, is to provide complete traceability. And you, listening, should really care about this, because traceability is what allows anyone, regulators, sponsors, ethics committees, auditors, anyone, to follow the entire decision-making trail, every step. It's the ultimate proof of integrity. It's absolutely necessary if there's ever a question about participant safety or dispute over data, and certainly during an inspection. So the ability to verify the who, what, when, and why for every single action, that's the concept to keep thinking about. Traceability.